Hope everyone is doing well. Today's live is going to be about insulin resistance, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of information regarding what insulin resistance is. And I want you to understand that insulin resistance is actually, so insulin is a hormone, right, guys? Insulin is a hormone made by the pancreas, and it actually helps to regulate your blood sugar. Okay, and why that's important, guys, is because when insulin can regulate your blood sugar, you know that means that you're insulin sensitive, right? And we want to make sure that our bodies are insulin sensitive, because if our bodies are insulin resistant, then insulin is not able to do its job. Okay, and when insulin is not able to do its job, then your body actually does not function properly, guys. Okay, and your metabolism will suffer. And when your metabolism suffers, guys, then a lot of other issues happen with the body. Okay? Now, my name is Paul. I'm here from Toronto, Canada, and I talk about insulin resistance, and I share also my journey with insulin resistance and what I've done to improve my insulin levels. Okay? Now, there's not a lot of people out there that focus on, talking about this problem. Majority of people actually don't talk about insulin resistance. Majority will talk about the symptoms, right? And they'll talk about everything else, but they don't talk about the actual precursor and signs that you can see that if you are insulin resistant and what you can actually do about it. Okay? And there's a lot of illnesses that are not created. They are basically related to not being able to handle your insulin properly. Now, when your body has problems, when your body has a hard time being flexible with your insulin sensitivity and not able to actually utilize insulin for your metabolism, okay? That's when things become a problem, okay? And why it becomes a problem is because, guys, insulin is a hormone. And if we understand that, first of all, then we understand that why people have hormonal problems in the first place. And why, and also you got to understand that hormones play a key role in your metabolism. So if you're having problems like health problems, weight problems, cravings, low energy, and you go to the doctor and you have all these issues, and then you end up with some type of condition, and you just go to the doctor and you say, hey, listen, I just don't feel well, and then something's not right. Can you please have a look and check me out? Let me do a physical. And the physicals, they're good. It's good to know what's going on so that you can do something about it. But the majority of people don't do anything about it, okay? And that's the problem. So here in this live, I'm going to show you what you can do about it. I'm going to highlight all the 7 top health concerns that are related with insulin resistance, and you could be one of them. 7, it's actually about 10, but number 7 has to do with the hormonal health, and under the hormonal category, there's not only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's many different. Oh, thanks, Anna Marie, for sharing the live. I totally forgot for me to share the live with my group. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And guys, let me know where you're joining from. My name is Paul. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I use this tea in the morning, and to make sure that I have the right nutrients, okay? The nutrients, the vitamins, the amino acids that I need to stay metabolically healthy. And that's what I'm drinking right now. Testing foods with Pat. So I'm talking about insulin resistance, and I'm going to talk about hormones first. Now, if anyone has issues with hormones, you're looking at issues like ED, erectile dysfunction, very common these days. On top of it, you've got 40% of the men globally that are suffering from this, okay? PCOS, and if you guys have any of these issues, just put a 1 in the comments. PCOS, you've got 40% of men globally, that's women, 35% of women in the reproductive age linked to insulin resistance, and this causes a lot of irregular menstrual cycles, facial hair, you name it. So many different issues with that as well. Irregular periods, I mentioned earlier. On top of it, you could have thyroid disorders, okay? Thyroid disorders, Hashimoto's, high cortisol. These are all related to insulin resistance, guys. Okay, your hormones for women that have high androgen levels, high testosterone levels. We got to understand why that's happening. We don't just get it from nowhere. This imbalance comes from somewhere. And you have a hormone called insulin, which is the precursor to all the other hormone balance, like all the hormones balancing themselves out. Because if you're not metabolically functioning properly, yes, your hormones are going to go off track. They're going to go off whack. They're going to be all over the place. And when your hormones are all over the place, hormones give signals to the body. You've got, I'll list a few of them. You've got ghrelin, a hunger hormone. Leptin, a hunger hormone in the opposite way. It reduces your craving. It makes you feel like you're not hungry. And a lot of people become leptin resistant. And a lot of people have ghrelin rampant in their system. They're always hungry. And that's because the insulin's high. And then there's people that have the low GLP-1 levels, right? Glucagon-like peptide 1. That's an important hormone for your hormonal health and for your overall health, quite frankly. And then some people say, hey, well, I got, they say, Paul, I got high cortisol. What do I do about that? And if anyone out there thinks they has hormonal problems, just put an H in the comments. Guys, hormonal problems affect men and women equally, guys. You're not safe from hormonal issues because of this food here, guys. Food that we get made by these 11 companies that control the food supply. We literally have not much choice in what we're eating. We do have some choice, like we can choose which variety or this or that, or we do have some choices. But at the end of the day, it's coming from the same food sources, so they do control what type of food we get. Unless we're harvesting our own food, we're growing, we have our own livestock, true hunter-gatherers, but we're not, right? So I'm going to get into why and more of the science behind it as well. I mean, in a very general way, but fatty liver, if anyone has fatty liver, put a FL in the comments. Let me know. I had fatty liver for over 18 years, okay? And 25% of the population, guys, 25%, okay, the population in the world, 1 out of every 4 people have fatty liver that we know of. It's estimated that it's higher, that it's almost 2 out of every, it's 1 out of every 2 people, so 50%, okay? And I'm talking about non-alcoholic fatty liver, guys, NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver, okay? This is not, without alcohol, this is all food, okay? Food causing this. And you've got high cholesterol. High cholesterol, they've got the #1 medication that's sold the most out there happens to be statins. And what do statins do? They lower your cholesterol levels, right? The problem is that what happens when you have statins, okay? Statins, what they do is they also lower your good cholesterol. Is anyone here on statins? Let me know. Because your good cholesterol also gets lowered when you're on statins, okay? And now this is 4 out of every 10 people are actually having problems with their cholesterol. And there's a lot of fear surrounding this, okay? Stay away from eggs, stay away from butter, stay away from anything that's fat. No, you need healthy fats and good cholesterol. Where else are you going to get it from, right? And then you've got high blood pressure. Let's look at high blood pressure. Now, why do we have high blood pressure? Let's look at it. Let's think about it. If a body is insulin resistant, okay, if a body can't process insulin properly, okay, what happens in that body is that the body starts to have a metabolism that is not functioning properly. So you don't have the insulin up, insulin down, you don't have the GLP-1 up, GLP-1 down. You want to have that flexibility. When you lose the metabolic flexibility, guys, okay, your hormones go off whack. And also what happens, guys, is that your blood pressure also can fluctuate. Unfortunately, with some people, what happens is your sympathetic nervous system gets activated due to poor gut health and a poor metabolism. Green tea, yes, green tea is good too, obviously, but it's got the theobromine in it, which is really good. I drink something a bit different, but green tea didn't really do it for me. It doesn't have enough. and it also dehydrates you quite a bit. That's the only problem with that. So, high blood pressure, okay? Now, high blood pressure, you can control. You can bring your blood pressure down 5 or 10 points easily by utilizing this Unimate tea that I drink, right? Now, number 3, fatigue. Fatigue and low energy. Why do we get the fatigue? Where does that come from? Fatigue and low energy, guys. Fatigue and low energy is basically your cells. This represents one of your cells, okay? When your body is chronically high, has high levels of insulin. Now, what I mean is, it's not that it's too high. It just means that it's high all the time, okay? So there's that old myth where they say, sorry guys, there's that old myth where they say, hey, you know what? Just make sure that you're having 5 to 6 meals a day. Have you guys heard of that? Have you guys heard of you just got to eat smaller meals more frequently? If you guys heard that in the past, just put a Y in the comments or a 1 in the comments. Guys, eating 5 to 6 meals a day frequently has ruined my health, man. I'm telling you, and I'll tell you why. We did it for years with our athletes. And everyone became insulin resistant. And I had no idea what insulin resistance was. Now, what that means is insulin resistance is like this is one of your cells, okay? So one of your cells need to open and close. And why do your cells need to open and close? Because inside your cell, there's protein and fat, okay? Now, if your cell is not able to open and close, right, like a true hunter-gatherer, then that means that you're insulin resistant. But then how do you know that your cells don't open and close? You look at the symptoms. A lot of the symptoms are the illnesses that I talk about, okay? Now, the reason, skin tags, skin irritations, neuropathy, hands and feet tingling, there's a lot of symptoms. Eczema, lung issues, like you have a lot of metabolic issues. Now, when your cells can't open and close, why does that happen? Okay? Now, remember I told you about having 5 to 6 meals, like small meals throughout the day? That was something in the 90s, I believe it was, in the 2000s. It was really, really big, especially at all the gyms. Everyone was having small meals. And, this came from the food industry, guys, because they wanted to sell more snacks. So they had an agenda. So how do they do it? They control the media, get the media on you, get you eating small meals, just like milk does the body good. Well, our milk is not even allowed in many countries around the world because it's not even classified as milk. And it's because of why? Because of the hormones in it, the antibiotics. It's just not good for you. How come people 50 CMGs? That's very great observation. I'm going to be 55 this year, and I didn't have this problem before. Exactly. GMO food absolutely is a great contributor. GMO food, lifestyle, sitting around, convenience. Ordering Uber Eats, right? Did that make you guys more lazy, Uber Eats? I mean, it did for me. It made me have less steps and less, going out, meeting people. But now we don't use it anymore. We go out and if we're going to eat out, we go pick up our food. But now 90% of the time we prepare our own food, right? And if you say you don't have time, you're just not making the time. Okay, there's always time to prepare your own food. You got to find a way, right? I mean, we did it as hunter-gatherers many years ago. So now let's get back to this. 5 to 6 small meals a day, okay? Let's say, this is one of the major contributors to the problem. Not just the food. It's the 5 to 6 meals a day, 4 meals a day, 7 meals a day. Now, we say, well, Paul, I'm not having meals. I'm just having a handful of nuts. I'm just having an apple or a fruit. That can't be bad for you, right? I'm eating healthy. I eat fish, right? Where's that fish from, right? Think about it. Where's that fish from? Just think about that. Usually from fish farms, right? And then the mercury level is too high. But what do? Just stop eating everything? No. We get onto a metabolic flexibility program where we're not having these insulin spikes throughout the day. Because every time that you eat something over 15 calories, you literally spike your insulin, guys. You spike your insulin. Thank you, Alina, for sharing the live. Appreciate it. So now, when you have insulin spiked by even anything as low as 15, 20, 30 calories, okay? What happens is you're in storage mode. You're in a mode of where you're supposed to be eating more. But this is what happens. Your insulin comes up, okay? Now, when your insulin comes up, it stays up for 4 to 6 hours, guys. 4 to 6 hours. That's right. It stays up. And guys, do you guys know what the #1 food franchise is in the world? Do you guys know? Does anyone know what the #1 food franchise is in the world in terms of the most meals, the most, you know what I mean? Does anyone know? Please let me know. If you guys know, I'm going to just quiz you on that. Okay? So now I'm going to get to fatigue and low energy. Now, I told you about fatigue and low energy, but I stopped at the part about the cell. When your cells are insulin resistant, AI beats McDonald's. Okay, good guess. There, let's see if anyone else has any guess. Rod is saying McDonald's as well. And this is what comes to mind when it comes to food. We think of McDonald's all the time. Is there any other choices here, guys? Okay, is there any other choices that you guys have? So I'm just going to go into this while you guys make your guesses. Subway, okay, good choice. Let's hear some more. So now fatigue. Let's say you're having 5 to 6 meals a day and your insulin's chronically high. Your cells become insulin resistant because there's too much insulin. Because it says, no way, it's too much insulin. I'm going to keep the cell doors closed. Now the fat and the proteins in there also, your body can't receive or give energy. So now you got weight just sitting there, dead weight, and the cells feel tired. Cells feel tired, it triggers hunger, sugar and salt cravings, and malnourishment, right? And then you put on more weight, and that's what happens. AI Beats is saying Subway as well. Zenmo Green is saying Subway. Rod said McDonald's. Okay. Zenmo Green is also saying Starbucks at this point. Or DD. What's DD? Right? Think about this, right, guys? Oh, Dunkin' Donuts. That's right. Dunkin' Donuts. We have Tim Hortons over here. That's right. Yeah, we have Tim Hortons. Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. So you guys are all very close, but it's actually the school cafeterias. The school cafeterias serve the most meals, and they give like Fruit Loops, what else? And sugary stuff, oatmeal, right? All these things. And oatmeal's made. Do you guys know who makes oatmeal? Right? So they get our kids really early. Dunkin' Donuts AI Beat saying, now listen, they get our kids really early. So when they get our kids really early, they train them to eat and spike their sugar. And then that sugar addiction is even more, guys, that sugar addiction is so strong that we become like crack addicts, right? We want more sugar. So we want to get more and more of this type of food that is high in the glycemic index. So then what happens is our sugar spikes and then our insulin spikes even higher. Okay? Sorry, just missing a few comments here. Don is saying the only solution is to buy your supplement. No, that's not the only solution, Don. There's many solutions. You don't have to buy supplements. I have GD and all my numbers are good, but my fasting blood sugar is hard to control. Yeah, I'm going to go over what you can do after for sure. There is a way to do it with how that person mentioned the supplements I use. Yep, I do have a tea. I do have a fiber supplement that is phenomenal, but you can also do without it. I've seen people do without it. Absolutely. And even if you do use the system I use, guys, you don't have to use it forever. You just need to some people just need it to get them to a stage where they can start building a healthy life, right? Some people just need the motivation and need the nutritional support. And then once you get to that point, then you can start, you're free again, right? You're free of all that food noise and being stuck. You can start getting healthy again. So yeah, now number 2, it would be sugar and salt cravings. Now we've got to understand where the sugar and salt cravings came from. Oh, sorry, did I miss a comment here? Sorry, I totally did. GD, numbers, fasting, Blood sugar. Okay, so your blood sugar you can control. I'll tell you how. and this one here, sugar and salt, I'm going to explain to you how blood sugar works. AI Beats is saying, can you mention some benefits of fasting? Yeah, for sure. Fasting is going to be part of it, okay? Now, sugar and salt cravings, let's take that into answering your questions, guys, okay? When you look at sugar and salt cravings, okay, 50% plus of the population suffers from sugar and salt cravings. And as Uribe said here, okay, and AI Beats is talking about fasting. Now, like, think of over 50% are linked to blood sugar imbalances and insulin resistance. And that makes it harder, that exacerbates your sugar and salt cravings. So now you feel more hungry for sugary and salty foods. And if you look at the snacks that all these companies make, they're either sugary or salty, right? So either one will satisfy you. But when you look at the salty foods, you'll even be surprised, guys, that you'll actually see that there's actually sugar content in the salty foods as well. Yeah, making them highly, highly addictive. Okay? Now, we do need sugar to live. Absolutely, 100% we need sugar to live. Sugar is glucose. Glucose is what we live off of. That's our fuel. But we don't need it continuously throughout the day, guys. Esther R is saying, I replaced my coffee with teas. Yeah, that's great. And you don't have to either. Like, you don't have to cut out everything. I'm not saying cut out everything. I'm just, your body, once it starts becoming metabolically healthy, you're going to want to eat better foods. Like, it naturally happens, right? Completely naturally, it just starts to happen. And, you know, if you're overweight, you have body fat issues, right? This is 70% of the population have body fat issues. It's very, very common, guys. You know, it's something that is very, very common. And a lot of people don't understand what to do about it, okay? Now, I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper into this, guys, okay? Anyone have hormonal issues, okay? If anyone has hormonal issues, put an H in the comments. I'm going to dig in to explain a little bit about how insulin resistance affects hormonal issues, okay? And this is going to explain a lot, because what do hormones do? Hormones actually help to send signals, right, to the body. Like, they kind of like, they tell us. Carissa's saying H. Yeah, Tammy's saying H. Yep. Carissa's saying PCOS. This is good timing, because I'm going to talk about PCOS right now. And this is something, guys, we are seeing PCOS in young ladies 14, 15 years old. Never in history have we seen that. Never. Okay? This is really wrong. This is bad. Right? What's the agenda? Okay? Now, the foods damage our hormones. Right? That's why a lot of our foods in Canada and US are not allowed around the world. But they are now. They're slowly seeping their way in. Okay? Now, hormonal health. If you deal with issues like PCOS, thyroid issues, put a 1 in the comments, erectile issues, right? This is connected to blood sugar, guys. Polycystic ovary syndrome is what PCOS is. PCOS is, for example, if you don't know what PCOS is and you're struggling from, understand what it is. Irregular periods, okay? And for those of you that have PCOS, please write in there some of the symptoms. Share it so that people can share, so we can create some awareness for the others, that you understand what you're going through, that there's nothing wrong with you, right? You don't have a problem. You have something that is reversible, okay? And why I say it's reversible is because your body can heal many different illnesses, guys. And why I say that is because first, take the power back in your hands, guys. Understand what you're capable of. Your body is so beautiful that it will heal, but we have to remove what's blocking it from healing, guys. That's very, very important, okay? Oh, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Now, think of this. When you have hormonal imbalances, okay? Now, Kickstarter, I use the products I use is Kickstart, okay? That's what I use. But you don't have to. You can also do without it. Hormonal imbalances are super common, okay? More than you realize, guys. Tanis, you're right. Exactly. Insulin resistance. Now, conditions like PCOS, thyroid disorders, and even erectile dysfunction, guys, Hashimoto's, high cortisol, low leptin, high ghrelin, low GLP-1, high insulin. Insulin is the precursor to all of that. You're in fight or flight mode. Gut issues. Imagine being in fight or flight mode all the time. What that means is that your sympathetic nervous system is constantly running. You're always like anxious, and you have this gut feeling that doesn't feel right. Does anyone feel that, like that gut feeling that things sometimes just don't feel right? Almost like a precursor to anxiety because you got low serotonin, low melatonin, hard to sleep, right? Hard to sleep, feel anxious, thoughts racing, unclarity. Guys, the gut is the second brain. But if I talk to you guys about gut health only, you'll be like, what the hell? Like, so what? If I talk to you about prebiotics, fiber, probiotics, microbiome, you're like, so what? What do you mean, what? That's where all the signals come from. Carissa saying fatigue. See, Carissa is well known. She knows. Fatigue, weight gain, irregular periods, mine led to diabetes, and eventually, oh my God, Carissa, I didn't know that it went that far. And I hope that you're okay right now because our bodies can heal themselves. Thank you, Tao. Tanis is saying yes. What is it? Well, it's not what is it. It's, oh, you're better. Thank God. Thank God, Carissa. Now, it's not what is it. That's not the question. Is what is the problem? If you're asking what's the solution, yes, I use a drink in the morning and I use a drink before my meals. I do. Okay? I do have a system, a protocol that works with 2 extracts. But I want to get back to the problem because if you guys understand the problem, then some of you may want to use my protocol. That's up to you. But just to get you to a point where you can choose better foods, understand the knowledge of what's happening with your body so that next time it starts to get worse, you can catch it before it gets worse. Do you see what I mean? Yes. What is the problem? So the problem is that when we have high chronic insulin levels too frequently throughout the day, it leads to insulin resistance because high chronic insulin, every time you eat anything more than 15 calories, it will spike your insulin, right? Esther, thank you for educating. Yes, for sure. My pleasure. It's God-given knowledge. Why can't I pass it on? Think of this way, guys, right? So now you have insulin high, Insulin's high. Can anyone guess how long does insulin stay high even if you have a handful of nuts that is over 15 calories? Even if you have, what else do people snack on quickly? Trail mix, nuts, what else have I heard? Cranberries, I heard people have cranberries. I heard people have, like a little bit of berries even, which is low on the glycemic index, actually pretty good. Pretzels, prime example, right? What if you just do that, you get that salt, it's like more than 15 calories, breaks your fast. Guess how long your insulin's up high? Your blood sugar spikes, but your insulin response comes swimming into the bloodstream, right? And what that does is bring up your insulin levels, right? Ruba, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love having you here. Thank you. Now, let's think. Your insulin's up high now, right? So your insulin's up high, Just because of those pretzels. Thank you for oh, my pleasure. Okay, so let's say you have the little bit of pretzels. Now, boom, all of a sudden your insulin's up. Does anyone know how many hours it stays up? I just want to see that you guys are really retaining this information. For the people that have been here before and they've seen the lives or my content, how many hours does your insulin stay up? Just from that little, 12? That's a good guess. Little quiz, guys. How many hours do you think it's up? So we've got 12 as one answer. Okay, I'll just take a couple more. Good morning. Good morning to you too. 4 hours. 4 hours Sido. 9 hours Bruleon. Joanne saying 4. EG saying 4 to 6 hours. Okay, wow. Okay, a lot of knowledgeable people here. And you know what's amazing is that nobody said 1 hour, right? And for the people that don't know, 10 hours. Okay. Okay, you guys are close, Great guesses. But it's actually 4 to 6 hours. EG was spot on. And Saito was right. Joanne was right. I mean, everyone else was right in a way that it goes on for quite a while. Okay? Now, from that little bit of nuts, guys, and when your insulin's up, you're in storage mode. So imagine your insulin being up for 1 snack, 2 snacks, and 3 meals. Let's do the math on it, okay? 1, 2, 3 meals. The average person has 3 meals a day plus 2 snacks, or at least 1 snack. But let's look at 4. Let's take the minimal amount. 3 meals, 1 snack. You're looking at 4, 4, 4, 4, 16 hours a day. The insulin is up. Even if there's a little bit of overlap, let's just say it's 15, 14 hours. Let's just give a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but it's usually more. That means 10 hours a day to give the benefit of the doubt, your insulin is down. So you got 10 hours a day, 24 hours in a day. You've got 14 hours a day that your insulin's up. Insulin's a storage hormone. And when insulin's chronically high, your cells start to close the doors and they hold on to the fat. They hold on to undigested. They hold on to all the crap. Okay? All your cells hold on to even undigested protein, which we need to burn, consume. So your body's not feeding off of itself enough of the day. You want your body to feed off of itself. It'll feed off of all the crappy stuff first. It'll feed off of the glycogen in your muscles so it doesn't turn into fat. So your liver, you don't get fatty liver like I did. You see? So you want to reverse that. You want to increase the sensitivity to insulin so that when insulin is secreted, it's not always in there. So insulin can come in, insulin comes in, and it can usher the sugar into the cell, but your cells are not insulin resistant anymore, which takes about a couple months, opens up, and now it can store the sugar as fat, lowering your blood sugar. So now you diabetics, your blood sugar starts to come down. You start to lower the glycemic index of every time you eat. You increase insulin sensitivity, right? BDC, what do you think about Unicity fiber products? I use them. BDC, I use them. I actually use, I'm drinking it right now. I'm drinking Unimate in the morning. I love it. It's phenomenal. I drink Unimate in the morning. I have it in the afternoon. I'm in maintenance mode. I use it completely. I used it for 4 to 6 months to get my results, guys. I got rid of majority of these symptoms. I didn't have PCOS, obviously, or thyroid, but I had all the other issues, and I got rid of it. And then after that, I just maintained with a little bit of it. Like I just dabble in it to keep it going. Weetabix, oh my God, I used to eat that growing up. Why does Weetabix send my sugar sky high? Yeah, let's look at who makes Weetabix. Does anybody know who makes Weetabix? Who makes Quaker Oats? Who makes all that? Does anyone know who makes that? Let's look at who owns that company. I'm going to answer your question, but I'm just going to first go to does anyone know who owns that? Can it help with high blood pressure? Can't lose weight in midsection, even with reduced calories. Leah, this is the problem. This is the problem when you're insulin resistant. So because we have theobromine, Kellogg, good, nice. Unilever, oh, how did you know about Unilever? Damn. So this one here has theobromine in it. I had high blood pressure. On my dad's side of the family, we all have high blood pressure. I was one of them. I got off all my meds from this. Got theobromine in it. Theobromine is amazing stuff. It opens up your blood vessels. Okay, it's a vasodilator. Also, on this system, when you increase your insulin sensitivity, your body goes out of fight or flight mode. When your body goes out of fight or flight mode, guys, meaning that the sympathetic nervous system is not active as it used to be, then you tend to calm down and relax, and you get the vasodilation, so you get better blood flow. Right? Does that make sense? Unilever, BDC, I didn't know you. Kellogg, yeah. So not Kellogg. Candy, sorry, just going through it. Haggy saying, how are you? I'm good, how are you? This does work. Yep, absolutely. Unified, absolutely. Okay, so I'll tell you, who owns that, right? You know, we heard Kellogg's, we heard a few things. Who owns them? Who owns them, okay? It's actually PepsiCo. Pepsi owns most of the cereal brands. Is that crazy? Pepsi, right? The cleaner that became Coke, I think, was the cleaner, right? It was like a household cleaner that became a drink. In what world does a household cleaner become a drink? In this world right here that we're living, right? Isn't that crazy? Haggy, nice to see you. Thanks, Cindy B, for the follow. I corrected my thyroid insulin, lost 38 pounds. Nice, awesome. Salma saying, can you repeat that, please? Which part did you want me to repeat? What can I use for blood pressure? It's crazy, right, Ruba? It's nuts. I know. And guys, you know GLP-1? Do you guys know GLP-1, what that is? GLP-1 is a glucagon-like peptide that's produced in our gut. So GLP-1 is an actual peptide hormone that's produced in our gut. Oh, the blood pressure, yeah. So you know when you increase your GLP-1 levels, guys, what happens is that your body tends to calm down because GLP-1 relaxes you. You also improve serotonin. Serotonin is wonderful. What serotonin does is it really calms you down. Serotonin is good. I mean, there's a lot of people that suffer from anxiety and depression, and they give them pills, antidepressants, I believe they are, and yeah, your gut health actually gets damaged from those. And I've seen a ton of people utilize our system and reverse insulin resistance to literally get themselves healthy again, right? So when you have theobromine in your tea, like I do, you can reduce your blood pressure very quickly, even without losing weight. Do you know why? Because, do you guys know anyone with BP problems, first of all? If anyone has or knows anyone with BP problems, put a 1 in the comments, please. I want to just explain to you guys a little bit about blood pressure, just about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go to fatty liver. If anyone has fatty liver, put an F in the comments. I'm going to do that one next time. So see how many people know people with blood pressure issues. And now, do you guys want to know how it's related to insulin resistance, guys? Well, whether you want to know or not, I'm going to tell you. Because blood pressure has been my nemesis for decades. It's been my family's problem on my dad's side. I lost my great-grandfather. I lost my grandfather. My dad also had a lot of issues with heart problems. Thank you, Heggy. Mima. Yeah, a lot of people are saying blood pressure. It's very common. Now think of it this way. When someone has high blood pressure, okay, we always blame it on like, oh, well, it's just the weight on our body, or it's too much stress, right? But let's look at it. Now, when you're insulin resistant, okay, when your body's insulin resistant, meaning that your body has insulin high too much throughout the day, okay? Tammy, I'm going to explain that in a sec, okay? So now when your insulin's chronically high, okay, and you develop a resistance to the insulin, what happens is that your body ends up with more and more insulin, leading to hyperinsulinemia, high levels of insulin in the blood. Over time, this insulin contributes to the development of high blood pressure, hypertension. I know thin people with bad BP, exactly. Now, exactly, it doesn't have to do the weight, 100%. See, thank you, Elliot. Now, when you have fluid retention in your body, where does that come from? Insulin resistance. Insulin resistance increases sodium reabsorption in the kidneys, which leads to water retention. Now you have extra fluid in your blood volume. Your blood volume's more. But no one thinks that it's from the sodium reabsorption from your kidneys. And then that leads to a higher blood volume, guys. Okay? higher blood volume, and it puts more pressure on your blood vessels, contributing to higher blood pressure. Because think about it, if you have only so much space in all these little tunnels, which is all your bloodstream, your blood, you know what I mean, right? Like the whole ecosystem of where your blood flows. Imagine you have only so much space. But you go and pump more volume into it. So your blood volume comes higher because you got more water. Especially, guys, especially if they give you blood thinners, okay, which are important sometimes. I'm not going to deny that. But blood thinners, then you got to drink more water, okay? And then that goes in, you got more blood volume, you get more blood pressure, they have to put another medication on you. That's why I was on 4 different medications prior to finding the system. How to reverse insulin, I'm just about to get there. I'm so sorry it's taking this long. I want you guys to understand why this happens. Because if you know why it happens, instead of just give me the fix, no, understand please why it happens. Because when you understand why, then you can figure out hows as well. You don't always have to rely on just, you don't have to only use what I use, right? You can use your own knowledge. I'm getting there though. Now another thing, fluid retention, number 1. Number 2, vascular stiffness. So you end up with vascular stiffness. Insulin resistance causes the endothelium, right? So endothelium, okay? The inner lining of your blood vessels reduce the flexibility. They're supposed to be flexible like this, but guess what happens? They end up stiff like that. Now, when your blood vessels get stiff like that, are they going to open and close? Are they going to dilate? No, they're not. They're not. That's why I drink this that has theobromine in it, and this helps them to dilate, right? And you get better blood flow, relaxes everything. So it's like having your shoulders up like this, tense. But then just taking your shoulders, just do this. You guys can do this right now. Your shoulders are all tense. And then all of a sudden you just relax them. And even notice throughout the day, your shoulders get tense like this constantly. That's number 3. Sympathetic nervous system gets activated. You can fight or flight mode. Because if you're relaxed, your shoulders are going to be down, you're going to be chilling, right? But let's say when shit hits the fan, let's say you're driving, just notice yourself, guys. Your shoulders come up like this. Because you're ready to fight. You're in fight or flight mode, right? And hyperinsulinemia activates the sympathetic nervous system, guys, right? It activates the sympathetic nervous system, right? You see what I mean, guys? Hey, good morning, Alex. Good morning. Oh, we did, yes. So it increases the heart rate, constricts the blood vessels. And what that does, number 3, it also constricts the blood vessels even more, further raising your blood pressure. Guys, does this sound like you? You're going throughout the day and you just kind of like tense up every so often, right? You know what I mean? The 2 supplements, the 2 supplements I use are the extracts, right? Alex, yeah, so much in my area, yeah, exactly. And that feeling is not good. And we can do something about it. But we need to do it, address it. It has to do with our metabolism, right? If we can focus on our metabolism, guys, right? And understand, like, what are the extracts? So I have 2 extracts that I use, right? And I'm going to explain what they are. Now, I could go through this on and on, but I don't know. Everyone's asking. I feel like I should just explain what they are, okay? Now, I'm missing out on fatigue. I'm missing out on sugar and salt cravings. I'm missing out on the overweight problem, right? But I'm just going to explain to you guys what they are now, because I know a lot of people are asking, and I just don't want to keep people waiting. Is that what you guys want? You can put a Y in the comments. If you guys want me to stop presenting on the problem of the fatty liver, I haven't done. And if you want to just know, like, I can just give you the information, then I'll go on to the rest of the stuff. Yeah, I think everybody wants it, right? Okay, so I'm just going to get to it. Sorry, guys. I really didn't mean to make you wait. It's just I don't want to come across as a sales guy. I'm not, like, I only want you to use this if you think that it's going to help you, okay? Okay. Okay, so number 1, you're talking about the 2 extracts. I'll talk about that, but remember that you can do this with or without the extract. Just want you to know. OMAD, you could do OMAD, You can do 2 meals a day. There's a lot of ways you can do this. You can do nutrition, proper nutrition. For me, I had problems, okay? I had problems staying on a diet. I had problems eating the right foods all the time. I go to family parties. I want to at least enjoy. I don't drink, I don't smoke, but at least I want to enjoy food, right? So, okay, I know you guys are waiting, so I'm going to get to the products. So number one is a Unimate. It's a yerba mate extract. Number one extract is called Unimate, okay? And what it is it boosts your energy and focus and mood, okay? It's basically, this is how it looks. It's an extract, okay? I mix it in my water. I drink it in the morning. It's from a natural plant. Yes, Michelle, that's what it's from. But the thing is, the difference between this and that, the regular yerba mate, is that this tastes good, and this has over 50 published studies on it. And what this does, guys, yeah, you don't faint on this. This gives you the energy, the vitamins, minerals. This is equivalent to having 300 cups of classic yerba mate, and it tastes great, with only as much caffeine as a small cup of tea. And this stimulates GLP-1 production, okay? Salma, you can have it in cold or hot. Tastes like iced tea or honey lemon, if it's hot. So it stimulates GLP-1 production, reduces all your cravings, guys, okay? Reduces your cravings, supports blood sugar balance, boosts your energy without the crash, no crash, okay? Now it contains almost all the micronutrients, guys, that your body needs, okay, to regulate this immune system issue. Your immune system gets better, your gut health gets better, amino acids, vitamins, minerals. It's got vitamin A, B1, B2, B3. It's got B2, B3. It's got B5, vitamin C, vitamin E, amino acids I mentioned earlier, calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese. So it's like a superfood. Phosphorus, potassium, selenium, sodium, sulfur, zinc. And the Argentinian soccer team carried 1,000 pounds of this to the World Cup. That's how good this is. They played all their games fasted. And it actually keeps you calm. You feel very relaxed. Okay? That's what I have in the morning. And the second one is called Balance. And someone asked, can you get it on its own? Yes, you can get it on its own as well. Absolutely. Now this one is Balance. I have this before I eat. So when I'm eating regular food, I know this is going to sound really bad. I'm talking about health. But yesterday was the weekend. We had like family day weekend. I'm here in Toronto, Canada. Let me know where you guys are joining from, by the way. I'm in Toronto, Canada. And we had, I had a meatball sub. I know, and maybe I should be ashamed of eating it, but I'm not. I had a meatball sub because I haven't had it in a while. And we had Subway and I had a meatball sub, right? And I literally had a Balance right before. And I made a video of it too, and I'll show you guys. And this is 7 different types of soluble and insoluble fiber. Okay? Soluble and insoluble fiber. So what I did is I drank it first, and I do this before my heavier meal every day. And what it did was it literally fed my gut microbiome. So now my gut microbiome got fed. Now, when my gut microbiome got fed, then I know that my gut health is getting better because this coated my stomach, right? Covered up everything in my gut, fed my good bacteria in my gut, and also helped me, okay? It also helped to encapsulate my food, reducing the insulin spike I would have got. So the 2 extracts are these 2 right here, Unimate and Balance, and the Balance has over 40 years of research, 4 decades of research, guys. Okay? And the reason I use this, I was super skeptical, man. I'll tell you straight up. If you guys are skeptical, I was worse than you guys. But my only regret is I didn't take 6 months to start using it. I used it because my wife was really sick. I'm going to be honest. My wife was really, I'm going to be open about this. Everything I'm telling you is the truth, okay? You can get it. You can go up to my profile here and you can see it there. There's an arrow up there and you can have a look and just see if it's for you, right? But just remember that this thing helped my wife. My wife was underweight, guys. No gallbladder. Does anyone here have no gallbladder? They took her gallbladder out, guys. That's right. They took her gallbladder completely out. And that's what happened. And we found the system helped her to get healthy again. And she started eating food again within 10 days. She wasn't eating food. She's down to 90 pounds. No gallbladder, exactly. And this is the thing, guys, right? So, yeah, I appreciate you guys all for being here. If anybody wants my number and they want me to send them a link, if you want me to send it on WhatsApp, you want to send me a message on WhatsApp, you want to send me a message on TikTok, go ahead. You want to send me a message on text, just put a Y in the comments, and I'll put my number up here, and you guys can send me a text, and I'll share the information with you. You guys can look at it and decide if it's for you. But remember, you can do with or without the products. It's totally your choice. Oh, Haggy, you sent me a message? Sorry. She had gallstones, that's right, and they removed it. Okay, guys, so here's my number right here, and just send me a text, and I will send you information. Guys, just before that, here's some people that I've met on TikTok. Look, he lost a bunch of weight, no more diabetes, off of metformin. This lady here, she had PCOS, mother of 3, PCOS reversed. Crazy, right? Yeah. Migraines, she used to have chronic migraines. You can look her up. She's on TikTok as well now. You've got Kimberly as well. She had bariatric surgery. Anyways, I got tons of these, but I'm just going to put my number. She lost 25 pounds. Shoot, sorry guys. Just trying to get the... no side effects. No side effects at all. Unless you... Like, look, you might feel a little bit of bloating. A little bit. Bernice, yeah, you guys can just send me a text here, and I'll send you back the information link. Or you can also, guys, you can even go up to my bio up there. Yeah. But something you might get is you might get a little bit of gastrointestinal discomfort, which means just basically a little